What's good, Ravens fans? I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to react to Speak Again. Lamar put out a cryptic tweet. They're going to talk about it. I'm going to get nervous about it. Let's get into it.
This is what Lamar Jackson cryptically tweeted within the last 24 hours on his Instagram story, rather. He says, no matter how much genuine love you show, it'll never be enough. So, blanket, ice cold emoji. Now, I'm going to be honest. I am not an emojiologist. I'm not. So, Dave Hellman, I understand like the blanket emoji, like the cussing emoji, but like the ice cold emoji after the cussing emoji. Can like you break that one down for your boy?
I mean, my guess, like I think of the icy emoji. Isn't that like a just like a like a?
Is this guy an emoji expert? Well, I mean, hey, listen, guys. I'm not an emoji expert either. But I don't know if I like to start my football talks talking about emojis. But teach his own. Maybe you guys enjoy it. I don't know. Not me though. Not me.
I'm different type of thing, like ice cold, ice in my veins. That's my interpretation.
I'm not an emoji.
Joy's the doctor.
Yeah, we not this old.
What's it mean? I don't know what the ice one means.
I mean, it means
Icy.
like, yeah, like
So
cold-hearted.
icy.
Oh, okay.
That.
Like
No friends.
Yeah.
No friends in these negotiations.
To be type.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, let's get to Lamar Jackson, right? What should the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson? That's the question on the floor. For me, it's very simple. I got one question for Lamar Jackson. Are you willing to play under the tag? If the answer to that is no, then the Ravens better find a way to trade Lamar Jackson for a haul. My one question for Lamar Jackson, hey, you willing to play under the tag? Now, we've seen the tag work out for Dak Prescott. We've seen the tag work out for Kirk Cousins. So playing under the tag is not the worst thing in the world for Lamar Jackson. You will make what? The average of the top 5 highest paid at the position, roughly $45 million in 1 year. You'll get it right here, right now. And then you can be in this situation again next year with another tag of making around $60 million, or you can go hit the market.
And so let me jump in really quickly because he's not giving a great explanation. So that number that he said, that $40 million number, that's if you sign the exclusive tag where other teams can't pursue you. If you don't do the exclusive tag and do the traditional tag, other teams can come and negotiate with you. And if they sign you, I believe you can match it. And if you don't want to match it, then you have to give them 2 first-round picks. So, we'll see. Again, there's 2 reasons why Lamar hasn't been tagged as of this recording. One is that they are negotiating and they're close. I don't think that's it. 2 is because they're going to trade him soon. And you don't want to tag and then trade because then you can't use the tag again. On a player that you might want to tag. Who that player is, I don't know. But, I don't think anyone's becoming a free agent that you want to pay them the top 5 of their position. But I'm just letting you guys know the logistics of it all. So,
can get that real big money that you want? That's my question for Lamar from the Ravens. Are you willing to play under the tag? If he's not willing to play under the tag, then I would try to trade him for a haul, because what I will do under no circumstance is make the fiscally irresponsible decision of giving him a Deshaun Watson type of deal. I'm glad Deshaun got that money. I'm glad Mulugeta negotiated that contract. But that is a fiscally irresponsible business decision to give a quarterback $230+ million fully guaranteed, particularly if that quarterback has missed 11 games due to injury and counting over the last 2 years. So
it's not true. It's not true. Okay? Guys, I don't know who this, guy is. I don't know. I know he's a football player, but I don't know if he was also, had owned a franchise, a football franchise. I don't know if he knows how many jersey sales Lamar Jackson is responsible for, but it's not fiscally irresponsible to have the most exciting player in the NFL on your team. I know you guys want to say, "Oh, Jason, we're only talking about winning here." Maybe you are, as the person that's not a billionaire that owns the franchise, but the billionaire who owns the franchise likes making money. And again, I believe that he is one of those billionaires that would rather make money than win Super Bowls. Right? And not just him. I mean, again, a lot of them are like that. The only one I can tell you for sure isn't like that, in my opinion, is Jerry Jones, because he said that he would give anything to win a Super Bowl. However, Jerry Jones also is in the fortunate position that he doesn't ever have to worry about money because he has the richest franchise in the history of sports. So he doesn't have to worry about that. So I don't know, so it's kind of like, I think he cares about it more than winning too, but because he's so rich from the Cowboys, he doesn't have to worry about that. But again, it's not a bad decision. It's a win-win decision. I actually think there's only one decision that you can lose in, to be honest, and it's the one that means that you're going to get 2 first-round picks, or two first-round picks and a third for Lamar Jackson, right? Because you can not land a quarterback on any of those picks, which is a high likelihood, especially if you're the Baltimore Ravens, who in their entire history of drafting quarterbacks have drafted 2 quarterbacks, one of them being great, which is Lamar, and the other one being good, which is Joe Flacco, right? It would be like if they said, hey, we're going to trade, let's just say, Marlon Humphrey, and we need to do 2 receivers. I would be terrified. I would be terrified because we can't draft receivers, and we're not that good at drafting quarterbacks. We just happen to let Lamar fall to us, and we took a chance on him. And then Joe Flacco was good, and we pretty much knew he was good because he was taken, I believe, early, number 12, if I remember correctly. So yeah, let me get back into it though.
That's very simply what I would do with Lamar. You want to play under the tag? If so, hey, let's get busy. If not, might have to get on. Joy Taylor, where do you stand? What should the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson?
We're going to be talking about this for a while, likely. And the more we talk about it, the more I just have no sympathy whatsoever for the Ravens. It's not Lamar Jackson's fault that the Browns don't do business well. It's just not. And the more that I look at what Deshaun Watson was paid, Kyler Murray was paid, what the other top quarterbacks are paid around the league, Lamar Jackson has every right to demand all the money that he is owed. It's his turn to get paid. So unless the Ravens just want to continue playing this quarterback carousel where they never pay big money to a quarterback, which is one way of doing business, I don't know in recent years how that's really worked out for a team long term, moving on from someone like Lamar Jackson. They can try it, but Lamar Jackson should not do anything but get all the money that he's owed. We talk about Deshaun Watson. He missed 10 games due to injury. Deshaun Watson has been injured also. Kyler Murray missed 9 games due to injury. Why is Lamar Jackson this injury-prone player? Because he's missed 11 games? Deshaun Watson doesn't get talked about like an injury-prone player, even though he's had multiple ACL injuries.
Right.
And he just got $233 million guaranteed. 36, sorry.
Joy cooking. Cook 'em, Joy, cook 'em.
Let me make sure I account for all of the dollars.
Cook 'em, Joy.
$236 million guaranteed for a player that missed 10 games due to injury and 28 due to suspension and sitting out.
And that counts.
Does count. Wasn't on the field.
Nope.
Wasn't on the field. So, and do you think that hurt the Browns this year? It surely did. So why is it that it's Lamar Jackson's responsibility to deal with a bad deal from the Browns? We all feel like that is a bad deal. But Kyler and Deshaun have injuries as well, but Lamar Jackson is now being labeled as an injury-prone player. It just doesn't make any sense to me. He has absolutely every right to stand on this and get all the money he's deserved.
I think that's a really good point, but that's the thing is that I think there's a gap here. Like there's a gap between, even with your injuries, you won an MVP, you deserve to set the market in your own way, and the Browns did this ridiculously irresponsible thing, and I don't think it shouldn't be the Baltimore Ravens' obligation to
I keep on, guys. I'm
atone
sorry,
for
I
that
keep on
either.
messing up.
Like it's not.
Why? I don't understand why it's ridiculously irresponsible. I don't get that. I don't understand why it's ridiculously irresponsible for billion-dollar franchises to pay quarterbacks $50 million a year when the only chance you have of winning the Super Bowl is with a great quarterback in today's league. I don't understand why that's irresponsible. I don't understand why it's irresponsible when your team would be better with Lamar Jackson at $45 million a year than without Lamar Jackson. and a rookie quarterback. I don't understand why that's irresponsible. I don't understand why when you look at the playoffs, and if you go down the AFC and you have the Chiefs who have a great quarterback, and you have the Bills who have a great quarterback, and you have the Bengals who have a great quarterback, and you have the Jaguars who have a very good quarterback, and you have the Chargers who have a very good quarterback, and you have the Ravens who made the playoffs because of the games Lamar Jackson won as the quarterback, and they were able to inch in, scoring one touchdown for the last 5 games. I don't understand how you can look at that and think that you can win without a great quarterback. And then I don't understand why you would look at the Ravens' history and think that you can just go draft a great quarterback when you've only had one great quarterback. And you won a Super Bowl. Your 2 Super Bowls, one came when you had literally the greatest defense of all time, and then the other one you had a quarterback go on the greatest postseason play of a quarterback of all time. 2 things that you cannot predict to happen again. I don't understand why that's irresponsible, and again, you guys want to say, oh, it's going to hurt your team. Sure, every big contract that a quarterback signs hurts their team. Somehow the Browns can still have a number 1 receiver, 2 great running backs, a good offensive line, great defenders. Somehow, but we can't. But hey,
Not their fault. The Browns did some wild, stupid stuff. And I don't blame them if they don't want to pay the bill for that. Kyler Murray did not get every dollar of his deal guaranteed. Russell Wilson has agreed to a new extension. He did not get every dollar of it guaranteed. So I don't blame the Ravens if they're saying, hey, we would love to make you the best paid quarterback in terms of average salary, in terms of the size of your contract. We don't want to guarantee every dollar of it. And that's where I love this impasse. I think it's going to be fascinating. And not to ruin the drama of the tag deadline, but I think it's important to remember this is a starting point. Yeah. Lamar Jackson's going to get tagged. All that really means is they have until July to work on a new deal. And really, does it matter if Lamar Jackson sits out of OTAs as a form of protest of being tagged? Absolutely not. If a deal gets done by the July deadline, he'll be in training camp. So not to ruin the drama, but all this is a starting point for negotiations. But what I'm interested to see is,
so I do disagree with that. I do think it matters this year because of the offensive coordinator change. You do want Lamar there to learn the system. Again, maybe he can get the playbook. But again, if someone gives you a book that has a different language in it, it doesn't matter how long you are with the book if you don't have someone to teach you the language, right? So I do think it is important for him to be there this year.
Who is willing to bend? Is Lamar Jackson truly insistent on getting a Deshaun Watson deal? Or if the Ravens say, hey, man, I did math. That's how interesting I think that is. And I'm not good at it. But if the Baltimore Ravens were to say, hey, man, we'll pay you $55 million over 5 years, and we'll guarantee roughly 70% of it, which is about what guys like Kyler and Russ got, that would be $200 million in guarantees. If the Ravens are willing to pay Lamar Jackson $55 million a year and guarantee 70% of it, and he says no to that, can I blame the Ravens for feeling some type of way? I can't. So that's what I'm fascinated to see. Is Lamar really insistent on getting a fully guaranteed deal, or can they work out a more traditional extension like we've seen?
2-5, you have been the highest paid in the league at your position. I don't think anybody else on national television can say that about playing pro football. So your answer carries a lot of weight. What should the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson?
They got to pay this guy. Right now. Dave, I like what you said, but it don't work like that. I'm not working with Kyler Murray's contract. I don't want to talk with him about, I'm way better than him. I want to go at the top of the market. And this is how it works. I was in a situation where I was trying to get a contract with the Chiefs, with the Eagles. Andy Reid is in my head. Anyway, and it was like, listen, I want to be paid at the top of the market. Now, at the time, Adrian Peterson, he was the big dog. So I understood that. But I got to get close to AP. And it's some stuff that they didn't want to give, and it's stuff that I didn't want to give. But you got to meet in the middle. So I got to put a little bit of my pride to the side. And the Ravens have to do the same thing. We got to get Lamar Jackson signed. Mm-hmm. Because the problem is this. What's your team look like without him? This year, 2-4. With him, 8-4. A real playoff chance. It's only one quarterback.
And So, and remember, I'm gonna tell you guys this because listen, I'm a historian. Okay, so I'm gonna remember everything, and then 3 years down the road, when you watch my videos, I'm gonna bring it up. You heard what he said, 8-4 with Lamar Jackson. One of those, Lamar Jackson won the game, and then the defense couldn't stop the Miami Dolphins. Another one of those, Lamar Jackson had a lead against the Bills. Defense couldn't make a stop in the fourth quarter. And then another one, Lamar Jackson had a lead against the Giants, and the defense couldn't make a stop. So it could have been one game lost. I'm just saying, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Back in the league that has more wins and winning percentage is that's Patrick Mahomes. And you see what he does every year, either in the Super Bowl or a chance to get to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's that type of player. The only thing I hate about the Ravens, the way they're handling this thing, is that Lamar Jackson did everything in his power to do the right thing. Like, I could text a million superstar players, and nobody would do it like that.
True.
Going to camp.
We talked about.
Wait, time out. You want me to go to practice? Whoa. You want me to be in the meetings? Nobody's doing that. I don't care what player it is, quarterback. I don't care what color. I don't care what size. Nobody does that. It's all about the business. So I look at Lamar Jackson. He did everything the right way. I'm coming to camp. I'm working with the younger players. You draft these guys. I'm the quarterback. I'm the leader. I'm going to work with these guys. You want me to come to the games? I'm going to be there. I'm going to support them. When guys are fighting for contracts, they don't do that. Nobody does that. You be the bad guy. Then when you get your money, then everybody's smiling. So my thing is the Ravens. Do the right thing. He's a franchise quarterback. The ownership, I know y'all love money. They love money, the owners. Nobody's coming to watch. Who? What player are you going to come watch? I mean, we know the names, but I'm just saying, what
You don't
player?
want to watch Tyler Huntley Ravens offense?
What?
That doesn't
Mark
do it for
Andrews
you?
is a hell of a tight end, one of the best. You're not coming to watch him. You coming to watch Lamar throw him.
And I've been to the games, guys. I've been to the games, and there's a total difference. And let me give you guys just a story. So I took my girlfriend to one of the games, and she doesn't, she's not a big Ravens fan or a football fan. But we get to the game, and she was like, "Dang, where's Lamar Jackson?" I said, "He's injured." Oh man, and so there's a big difference. And to give up Lamar that way, it's crazy. And he's 100% right. This is, guys, if you have any power at your work, anything like that, you can't relinquish it, because you relinquish it and then it comes to do a signing. And Lamar did that. He said, "I'm going to play." What Lamar should have did is he should have held out, because guess where he is now? On the precipice of being traded. So if you wanted to play in Baltimore, you should have. Listen. You should have held out. So Shady's 100% right here. Let's see what he has to say.
The ball. You see what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson's a special player. You got to pay this guy. He's for the future, and he's great for your franchise.
I guess the question is, because you clearly have to pay him, but I guess the real question is, like, what do you pay him?
Top of the market.
Because if I'm the Ravens, I think I have a lot of ground to stand on.
Okay.
The reason is only 5 franchises have won multiple Super Bowls since the turn of the century. And all of those franchises that have done it 2-5, they've done it with Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Okay.
The Bucks, they've won 2. Tom Brady was there. The Patriots obviously won multiple. Tom Brady was there. The Giants won multiple. Eli Manning was there. The Steelers won multiple. Ben Roethlisberger was there. But the Ravens won multiple with Joe Flacco, and they won with Trent Dilfer. So the Ravens are sitting here like, wait a second now, of any franchise that's earned the right to be in this position, we, more than any other franchise, have earned the right to be in this position.
Is Ray Lewis there?
No, he's not. Okay. He's not.
Is
but
he coming back?
No, but I do think.
So keep going. Is Henry there?
He's not. He's not. But I do think.
Henry there.
I do think.
And this is the problem. This is, I don't, even coaches will tell you, it's not about the X's and the O's, it's about the Jimmies and the Joes, right? And the Ravens don't got the Jimmies and the Joes. I'm going to let y'all know. Without Lamar Jackson, the Jimmies and Joes aren't good enough. They're not good enough. And if the Ravens think they're going to find a quarterback quickly, it's just not going to work. And again, then when you find a quarterback, you'll be in a similar predicament. If he's a good quarterback, right? It's just going to be a bad decision to let him go. I mean, I'm getting really worried, to be honest.
They have players that they believe can scratch those surfaces.
They can believe whatever they want. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are Hall of Famers.
They are.
I'm not saying that there's players can't become that, but we know what Ray Lewis. The reason that happened is because those players were there.
Sure.
And they don't have that right now.
They don't. But I will say, the first Super Bowl they didn't have Ed. The second Super Bowl they had Ed. But furthermore, they have first-team All-Pro linebacker in Roquan Smith. Now, is he Ray Lewis? No, but nobody's Ray Lewis.
Okay, but the difference between winning a championship with a quarterback that isn't a Ben Roethlisberger, that isn't a Eli Manning, who will likely be in the Hall of Fame, who isn't a Tom Brady, is you have guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Like, you have to have transcendent greatness all on its own on one side of the ball complete in order to compensate for having a quarterback that is not of that same level. So if you feel confident, that the Ravens feel confident they can do that, who do they have that's transcendent? Because you can't say, okay, he's an all-pro, but he's not quite that. No, you either are Ray Lewis, who is one of one, or you're not. And they don't have that level of defense.
Maybe you find that.
Joy is eating them up. My God, Joy is eating them up. Shout out. 100% correct. He is failing to, it's two things that he's just failing to recognize. One, football is different. You could win when we won our first Super Bowl. You could win with just a great defense. You can't do that anymore, right? Because you're not stopping Patrick Mahomes from scoring, 21 points. And the Ravens couldn't score a touchdown, one touchdown. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you're also forgetting the circumstances that surrounded it, right? It's not just Ray Lewis was one great player. It was the best defense ever. It was the best defense ever, according to the numbers. The best scoring defense, the best scoring, I don't even know how to say it, the best defense to score the most points on defense, right? So they stopped you from scoring points, and then they scored points. What defense ever has scored as many points as the Ravens defense did that year? Zero, right? And again, you can say anything you want about Joe Flacco, and I hear it. He's not a great quarterback in the history of the game. But the reason that we won that Super Bowl wasn't because of the great team. Again, guys, let's just look at the team. The tight end was Dennis Pitta. Running back, Ray Rice. On offense, Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith. Jacoby Jones. Again, Anquan Bolden's great. He was old when he was on the Ravens. He still can make plays. But let's not talk like they're first ballot Hall of Famers here. Let's not pretend like that. Let's not do that. Okay? That team that I just named is not better than the Eagles offense that's just been in the Super Bowl. Right? And so the reason that they made it that far was the chemistry between those players, and also the fact that Joe Flacco decided to go 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That matters. I'm just saying, it matters. And to ignore all that is actually irresponsible, in my opinion.
Transcendent player with the Hall of Picks you get for Lamar?
Maybe.
Nah, man, no.
Like, who?
This guy, okay, all right. Guys, he just said you can get the transcendent player with the Hall of Picks. Name one team that's done that. Name one team. One team that's done that. It's so crazy, guys. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's wild. The teams that are winning Super Bowls, the Chiefs, they didn't trade for a Hall of Picks to get a transcendent player. Patrick Mahomes fell to them, and they got lucky, and they were able to pair Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid. That's what happened, right? No one knew what Patrick Mahomes was going to be. That it's just insane to say that.
Who's winning?
I mean,
we talking
in
right
the
now.
NFL right now.
But here's the thing.
I thought it was the Niners, and they still need a quarterback.
That's
Valid.
It's an interesting conversation, but here's what we know. The Ravens are trying to move in that direction. It doesn't get better than first-team All-Pro. It doesn't. Not actively playing.
No, you're right.
And Roquan Smith was a first team All-Pro at the Mike linebacker that Ray Lewis was. Now, again, you can't have a conversation about somebody being Ray, but it doesn't get better than first team All-Pro, as you know. Go ahead, Tupac. Go ahead.
I like this new thing.
Sorry.
Because he's so good at TV. You can argue any point, and I love it. But come on, that defense, that's like one of a kind.
They were one of
It
one.
was this thing they had on, I forget what was it, ESPN or something like that. Was it ESPN?
They did a doc on them.
And they were saying like the best defenses of all time.
They're top 5.
Top 5? They were like top 2. You can't name them a deepest better than that. So my thing is, nowadays, I'm talking about right now. I'm not going way back there and all this. You going with Joe Flacco. Right now, if you look at all the last 3, 4 champions as quarterbacks or teams, the quarterback. You have a quarterback.
You're not wrong about
Come on,
that.
it's a new day and age now.
Oh, it's a
Thank you. These guys, I mean, so Shady and Joy did their thing. These other two guys, they might need to find a new show that I don't watch. Not that I watch the show. I watch it for you guys, though. I watch it for you guys. So, again, it's getting rough, guys. The waters are getting rough. My worry meter is like at an 8, to be honest, and it could go higher, to be honest. So, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks, and go Ravens.